You know how some people are good seducers, and it could be not just for sex, it could be socially or politically. They're very calm. They know how to tell a good story. They have charisma. They have energy. Their face lights up. They know how to say the right things, and they attract you.
Humans nowadays, we're too into words. We just talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. And a classic thing in the seduction realm will be a man or a woman saying, "I love you." Like, when will they say, "I love you," is a big deal. And all I try and tell in the book is, that's not the language of love. That's not the language of seduction. It's something nonverbal. You have to learn this new language of seduction. It has nothing to do with words. It's in your body language, it's in your actions. It's so much more powerful when the other person feels that you love them. I tell people, when you go see a movie or you read a book, let's say a movie, and you feel like the movie is casting a spell on you, it's drawing you into the story, and it's having an emotional impact on you, and by the end of the movie you're moved, or you're crying, or you're laughing, or whatever it is, that is a form of seduction where you've allowed your psychology to be penetrated by a director, a writer, or whomever, and you're seduced. And it's actually an amazing power that humans have. The problem is some people are closed to seduction. They don't want to be seduced. They're not interested in other people. I find seduction to be a very social phenomenon. To be a great seducer, you have to be interested in people. You have to there's a difference between a cold, kind of analytic, the typical sort of cold male seducer, which I talk about in the book, but I'm advocating a more sort of hot or warm seduction in which both people are seducing each other.
You know how some people are good seducers, and it could be not just for sex, it could be socially or politically. They're very calm. They know how to tell a good story. They have charisma. They have energy. Their face lights up. They know how to say the right things, and they attract you, okay? But there are people who do the opposite. They say the wrong things, they do the wrong things, they dress the wrong way, they take you to the wrong places, they repel you. They are anti-seductive. Nobody wants to be around them, right? And so what are the qualities that make a person anti-seductive? So one of them are people who talk too much, who are always bragging, who always have a story to tell. You know, in the realm of seduction, women often complain of men who explain. They explain everything. They explain exactly what you're doing, what you mean, right? They call it mansplaining, okay? So people who tell you everything, who are doing 95% of the talking, and they don't think they are, they're extremely anti-seductive. People who moralize, who tell you you're wrong, this is what you need to do, this is what's good, this is what's bad, that's anti-seductive, right? They preach to you. People who are always bragging about themselves like they're so great, that's a very anti-seductive quality. I think being vulgar is an anti-seductive quality because it's like you have no self-control. You don't look at yourself and realize what you're saying or how you're dressing or how you're looking is actually kind of off-putting, right? So a seductive person is self-aware. They're self-aware of their body language, of you know, the clothes that they wear, of how they talk. The anti-seductive person has no self-awareness. They enter life, they don't look in a mirror, they don't think about what they're saying, they just think they're being natural, and they offend a lot of people.
If you're too direct, if you're too brutal and aggressive, you won't last very long. People won't like you. So we live in a world of soft power. It's in politics, it's in advertising, and it's in seduction. And seduction is women invented seduction. There's no doubt about it. I describe how that happened, why it happened. And when you read a lot of history, as I do, you know, there's not a lot of, women disappear in history a lot. There are only a few queens and empresses and courtesans, but their influence on history is incredibly profound, and seduction has had a profound impact on us. The whole idea of enchantment, of enchanting another person, of putting them under your spell, of making them fall in love, whether as just the end of it being love or a form of power, is something that women created and have had a huge impact. And I want to trace that impact to even politics today, where I feel like politicians are seducing the public. You know, obviously men and women are different. Men tend to be seduced by visuals. The way a woman looks is sort of the primal way of seducing a man. Women are very prone to words, to just hearing, to the verbal aspect. And seducers, the typical Don Juan of the 17th century, which is where the whole Don Juan legend basically began, 15th, 16th century, they discovered that through language, through poetry, through casting a spell on a woman with their words, that this was the weakness that they had. And so many of these great early seducers were just great talkers. It's interesting because if you look at like some of the great ones in the 16th, 17th century, they were not handsome men. They were actually, one of them was physically repulsive, but had such an incredible way with words that he could seduce almost any woman. And then, you know, obviously there are women who are great with words. I'm not saying that it's strictly male or female, but these are the two sort of weaknesses that each gender has. And it's infiltrated politics to a very large extent. I look in the art of seduction, the icon for me, the first great American, even world politician that kind of mastered it, but let's say American, was John F. Kennedy. I claim that he was, I'm not just me, other writers have as well, he was a master seducer. Obviously with women, you know, he's legendary for that. But using television and using Hollywood, the imagery, the icons of Hollywood, his father was a producer in Hollywood, and Kennedy was obsessed with Gary Cooper and Cary Grant and James Dean and Montgomery Clift. He studied them. He knew how to have the same sort of charisma on camera. He was our first television president. And he seduced the American public in a really powerful way. I mean, it was a very close election with Nixon, so it wasn't like a great, you know, it was very close run victory. But it was very powerful in that he set the bar that now a politician has to have a television presence, has to be seductive, and has to find a way to bring people together through language, through imagery. Kennedy was sort of the master. And so I want to take you away from thinking of seduction as just the sort of thing that men do on women or women do on men. It's something that permeates our culture. It's in advertising, it's in marketing, it's on the internet, it's in politics. It's different. Obviously, a sexual seduction is not the same as Kennedy seducing the American public, but the dynamics, the casting of the spell, the enchantment has a similar process. So first of all, there's the desire to be a seducer, which a lot of people will say, oh, I don't want that, I'm not interested in that. And what I'd say in the book is remember the time that you experienced probably in your life when another person had fallen in love with you, and you sensed that you had power over them, that they were under your spell, that the things that you said excited them and interested in them. The walls, the resistance that people normally have are so frustrating. You can't reach your kids, you can't reach your wife, the people at work, they're closed to you. And in that moment when someone had fallen in love, that wall came down and you had this sort of back and forth electricity. It's amazing. You love it. It's powerful. It's great. You want that. You don't want the sexual version of it in your office, obviously, but you want to be able to persuade, to get people to lower some of their usual walls and resistance to you. So the first thing is you want seduction in your life. Believe me, you want it. The other thing is you have a misconception about seduction. It's not this, as you say, this villainous male, you know, kind of figuring out these very cold, calculating strategies. That's not what it's about. There's got to be a naturalness to it. If you're someone that has calculated their way too much in the process of, this is what I'm going to do, step A, B, and C, it's not seductive. People can read it. Seduction there's a body language to it. There's a kind of nonverbal communication. And we sense that another person is trying too hard. They've read a book. They read The Art of Seduction and they're applying the 24 strategies. It doesn't work. You have to bring out natural qualities that you have. And I maintain in the book that every person has a kind of natural quality that makes them authentically seductive, whether it's the natural who's kind of childlike and spontaneous, or the rake, or the siren, or the ideal lover, whichever type it is, it's in you, it's latent, it wants to come out, and that's what will make you a good seducer. A lot of people complain about the art of seduction and they say, well, shouldn't people just be who they are? Why can't we just be natural and just do what comes, first thing to us? Why do I have to put effort into it? Why do I have to read a book? Well, the thing is, the fact that I say that seduction and romance is like a courtship. It's like a ritual that you'll see animals go through when they're in a mating ritual. Humans have the same thing. It's called courtship. It's called romance. It involves certain steps. It involves getting the other person excited about you and interested in you, etc. And the worst feeling in just the romantic part of seduction, let's just talk about that, is that the other person isn't putting out any effort. They're just being who they are. You go to their house and you have a date and they're just wearing their usual clothes and they've ordered pizza and there's no effort, there's no enchantment, there's no theater. People are dying to be taken out of their lives, out of the banal day-to-day work, and to be taken on a ride. They want enchantment, they want some drama in their life, they want pleasure. I talk about in the book, it's like a child. Seduction is reaching the child of everybody. And when you were a child, you were 1 year old, what was the greatest pleasure you had? It was being picked up by your father, your mother, and kind of whirled around and taken everywhere and lifted and twirled, etc. The sense that someone was taking you somewhere and you were under their control made you laugh. It gave you this incredible pleasure. And that's what happens when you see a movie and it takes you on this journey where you don't know where it's going, what's happening next. People don't have enough of that in their lives. Humans nowadays, we're too into words. We just talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. And a classic thing in the seduction realm will be a man or a woman saying, I love you. Like, when will they say, I love you? Is a big deal. And all I try to tell in the book is that's not the language of love. That's not the language of seduction. It's something nonverbal. You have to learn this new language of seduction. It has nothing to do with words. It's in your body language. It's in your actions. It's so much more powerful when the other person feels that you love them. Benjamin Disraeli is one of the greatest seducers ever. I mean, absolutely brilliant. First of all, consider this. He was a dark-skinned Jewish man in England who became prime minister. And imagine the prejudice against somebody like that in a country like that. How did he ever do it? Because he was a charmer, a seducer. He could seduce the birds out of the trees. He seduced Queen Victoria. She was madly in love with this dark-skinned Jewish man. And the whole art of it was, for Disraeli, was to make the other person feel like they were special, they were brilliant. There's a quote I have in the book, I'm not going to get it exactly right, but there's this woman who said, after sitting next to Gladstone at dinner, Gladstone was the great rival of Disraeli. After sitting next to Gladstone at dinner, I thought he was the most brilliant man in England. After sitting next to Disraeli at dinner, I thought I was the most brilliant woman in England. Gladstone irritated people because he was so argumentative, so superior. Disraeli charmed everyone because he made you feel like you were special, you were brilliant. And he gave you the sense that you were the star of the show. Here he took Queen Victoria, the most prudish, uptight woman you can imagine, and he had her completely under his thumb. She wrote a book which nobody read because she wasn't a writer. But she had vanity, she has ego, everybody has ego. And so now Disraeli would refer to her, he would say, you know, we authors, when we write, and he was a great writer, but he made her think that she was a writer like he was. I mean, the guy is one of the great seducers of all time.